Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Newsviews. I'm Judy Stu. At a time when we are hearing a lot about the need for more women in the STEM fields, the Chicago Tech Hub 1871 just put a woman at the top, hiring Betsy Ziegler to be the new CEO. She is the first female to lead the Tech Hub, founded 6 years ago. Ziegler comes to 1871 from Northwestern University's Kellogg School of Management, where she was the Chief Innovation Officer. And Betsy Ziegler joins me now this morning. Good morning and welcome to Newsviews.
Thank you for having me on.
Well, as we said, there have been a lot of headlines about you being the first female to lead up 1871. I'm curious, I guess, first of all, what does that mean to you to be the first female in this position, and what is your vision for 1871?
Sure. Well, maybe I just start quickly and make sure everyone knows what 1871 does and why we exist. I mean, we exist to drive inclusive economic growth in Chicago and the region. And we do that two ways. The first is we inspire, equip, and support founders to build great businesses. And then we grow, curate, and nurture the supportive, inclusive ecosystem around that. And so when you think about that and what's going on in tech and the importance of tech in our region and the role that all Chicagoans can play in it, right? It's a huge honor for me to be in that seat. As the first female CEO, right, it's an extra special honor to have to serve as a role model, frankly, to the female entrepreneurs in our city and in our region. We are, of the top 20 startup ecosystems, Chicago is ranked 6th, but we have the most women founders of any of the top 20.
Really?
With 30%, which is really, it's a really great metric, and it's a really, starting baseline to work from. And of the entrepreneurs inside of 1871, we also have about 30% female represented.
So then, looking at the big picture overall, what more do you think can and should be done to encourage women to go into tech? And will you be leading any initiatives when it comes to that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think there's a huge opportunity. When I think about women in tech and what are the problems we're trying to solve, I think I sort of ask myself 4 questions. One is it a talent problem? And I would say, no, it's not. We've got tons of women. We've got more than half of the college graduates are women. We've got more than about half of engineering graduates are women in most of the universities across the country. So it's not talent, right? So then you think about, well, what else is it? What else do we need to do? And there are issues around advocacy and sponsorship, certainly raising capital, and then I think telling positive stories about women being successful out in the world. And on those 3 dimensions, advocacy and community, finding capital and telling stories, 1871 has a major role to play there. I mean, we are in our 7th cohort of a program we call WISTEM, which is a accelerator program just for female entrepreneurs. So we've had 76 already graduate from that program. And we're in the 7th with 12 current female entrepreneurs, and I play a central role with them.
So you touched on it a little bit, the history of 1871. It's been around for about 6 years now. Yep. Certainly it has expanded and evolved. Tell us what it looks like right now. What kind of innovations are going on there?
Yeah, it's a really fascinating place. I mean, the energy is sort of unbounded. We started 6 years ago, as you mentioned. We have about 500 companies that operate out of our space. We do 1,400 events and workshops a year, so the scale is huge. We have 7 university partnerships that have tenant space there. We have close to 500 mentors that do 10,000 hours of mentorship to our entrepreneurs every year. I mean, the size and scope are sort of unfathomable, right? And so what we can do as an integrated ecosystem to support founders to build great businesses is unbounded.
What kind of impact do you think it has had on the city of Chicago to have this kind of technology hub here?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things that I would say. The first is 6 years ago, or probably longer than 6 years ago, when it was envisioned as bringing a town hall, right? A place for entrepreneurs to come together and to build community, which we found is extremely important. Since then, there have been several other hubs and startup accelerators that have grown up, which I think is a very positive thing because it shows that there's a lot of demand in the city for this type of environment. When you look at the outcomes of our companies, we've created thousands of jobs and raised hundreds of millions of dollars of follow-on capital that our companies have raised, which allow them to go out employ more people in Chicago and across the region.
That economic impact, yeah, unbelievable.
Huge, yeah.
Okay, we're going to pause right here, continue our conversation.
Right.
When we come back with Betsy, we're going to talk a little bit more about her roadmap to success. We'll be right back.
Hey, if you like that video, be sure to subscribe to our ABC7 Chicago YouTube channel.